Most junior or student researchers want to know about the qualities of successful researchers. They need these qualities in order to be successful in terms of conducting and completing their research studies successfully. So we will briefly discuss the main characteristics of successful researchers. We can divide the characteristics that generally make successful researchers into three main categories: the personal qualities, the academic qualities, and the professional qualities. Now, first of all, the personal qualities generally include the quality of having an academic or scholarly outlook on life, and especially an academic or scholarly outlook on the subject or the area in which we are interested in conducting research. Secondly, we need to have to develop curiosity or to have curiosity related to the subject or the area in which we are conducting. Curiosity or academic interest in terms of exploring and knowing more about the field in which we are conducting research is extremely important for successful researchers. The next important characteristic that successful researchers need to have is the ability to think critically and to think analytically. Critical thinking helps academic researchers in thinking in new ways, in questioning social and natural phenomena, and then that actually leads to the exploration of topics. So that is why critical thinking is very important, is a personal quality for successful researchers. Diligence or persistence or persistent, the ability to continuously work on research topics over longer period of time and through difficult times is very important as a quality of successful researchers. Similarly, adaptability to situations, especially to difficult situations that often arise during the research process, is also very important. Strategic thinking, or in other words, long-term thinking, is very important. And so there are stages in the research process where we are stuck in certain situations, but we need to have the bigger picture, and we need to think strategically or in long terms related to the possible outcomes and success of our research projects. Then, in terms of personal qualities, we also need to have, as researchers, need to have good mental health and physical health, and we need to have regularity in our character so that we persistently pursue our goal and our research questions, our research objectives. So mental and physical health plus regularity and discipline are extremely important as personal qualities for successful researchers. Then we move on to the next one, the academic qualities. So there are certain academic qualities that successful researchers need to have. And these include, first of all, academic interest. So we need to have interest, and we need to continuously pursue the topic of our research. And that will depend on the level and magnitude of interest that we have in our topic. So it is extremely important that we have academic interest in the topic that we are exploring, and we need to continuously keep that interest. Then academically, we need to have sufficient knowledge of the area in which we are conducting research, and we need to have certain skills. And so these skills include literacy skills, which actually means we need to have good knowledge of the language and the field in which we are actually working. in terms of understanding, for example, the terminology, the vocabulary, and the structure and grammar in which most academic writing has already been conducted in that particular field. Similarly, numeracy or statistical skills are often very important for academic researchers. Attitude, we need to have a very positive and constructive attitude towards what we are doing towards our research project, and so that is very important. Persistent motivation, in many cases researchers begin with good motivation, but with the passage of time or with conditions they might lose their interest and their motivation. This is something that could be very dangerous in terms of leading to like the failure of our research pursuits or our research projects. So that is why not only developing motivation but continuously keeping our motivation up is very important. And so we might need external help from, for example, from seniors or supervisors or friends in order to keep our motivation. Then continuous learning is very important. So you might have initial baseline knowledge, but you need to continuously improve our knowledge, add to your knowledge related to the topic that you are exploring. And so you need to read a lot. So that is why generally successful researchers are good and persistent and critical readers. Vigilance related to the process of our research, vigilance related to the process of conducting our research, vigilance in terms of conducting ethical research, vigilance also in terms of the resources that we use and the time that we spend on our research pursuits is very important. And then the last category of qualities that we can associate with successful researchers is the professional set of qualities. And so these actually include professional commitment, our commitment to explore our field with professional competence and with honesty and with dedication. That is very, very important. We also need to be rigorous about our research questions, our research objectives, our research designs, and actually the whole process of research. So academic rigor is very important as professionals. And so this is an important professional characteristic or quality. Then, professionally speaking, researchers need to have a scientific outlook. So they need to have a scientific and objective outlook at phenomena that they are exploring through their research. Then, in many cases, we need to involve in professional collaborations with, for example, with other colleagues or with other academics or professionals. And that is why the ability to have collaborations with others in terms of exploring our research is very important. Networking is a part of the collaboration process, and so we need to develop good networks in order to be successful researchers that actually help us in knowing more and more about the latest developments in our research field, and also in terms of getting access to sources and resources of data that we need for our research. Then ethics, we need to follow professional ethics related to the fields of our research, and so that is something that we need. So generally researchers need to be ethical beings in order to be successful researchers. Continuous professional development, because generally the fields of research are areas where there happens that there are actually fast developments or changes in the fields in which we are working. And so we need to continuously develop ourselves as professionals, as academics, in terms of developing our skills and knowledge and attitude in order to keep pace with the changes in the field. So continuous professional development, or CPD, is very important. And lastly, in the list that I could think of is the scholastic humility, which actually means that generally as successful researchers, we should be sure of the validity and reliability and the authenticity of our research process. But at the same time, we should have scholastic humility, and we need to be open to changes, to our conclusions. And so we need to have this humility to accept alternative explanations regarding the phenomena that we have been exploring. So these are some of the main characteristics or qualities of successful research. And so these qualities include the personal qualities, the academic qualities, and the professional qualities. And so as new researchers or junior researchers, or and especially student researchers, we need to develop these qualities, and generally we have these, but we need to polish these qualities in order to conduct a successful research project.